Ever wondered how far back the history of our beloved chocolate goes? Let's embark on a journey to around 4,000 years ago, around 1750 BC. It may surprise many that our ancestors were indulging in the allure of chocolate even then. But their use of chocolate was not solely for pleasure as it is for most of us today. It was a potent concoction, a revered medicine, and an integral part of their religious rituals. Yes, chocolate was more than just a treat. It was a sacred elixir of life. It was the divine drink that transcended them into their spiritual realms and healed their ailments. So, as we relish our chocolate bars, let's not forget the rich historical tapestry that this heavenly treat is woven into. Indeed, chocolate has been a part of human civilization for thousands of years. But do you know where it comes from? The journey of chocolate starts in Africa, the home of the Mayans who discovered the cacao tree. Picture this. Deep in the heart of Africa, amidst the lush tropical rainforests, the Mayans first stumbled upon the magical cacao tree. This was a landmark discovery that would forever change the world's relationship with food. The cacao tree, scientifically known as Theobroma cacao, literally translates to food of the gods, and indeed, the Mayans treated it as such. They revered this tree, using its beans not just for culinary delights but also for medicinal and religious rituals. The cacao tree was a treasure trove, a gift from the gods, and the Mayans were the first to unlock its secrets. From these humble beginnings in the ancient Mayan civilization, the cacao tree's journey has been a long and fascinating one, crossing continents and cultures, ultimately transforming into the chocolate we love today. Now that we know where the cacao tree originates, let's move on to the specific conditions needed for it to grow. Cacao trees are quite particular about their growing conditions. Indeed, these trees are a bit like Goldilocks. Everything has to be just right. For starters, they favor a steady temperature of around 25 degrees Celsius, which is a comfortable tropical climate. But it's not just about warmth, as cacao trees also have a fondness for humidity. To be precise, an 80% or above humidity level is their sweet spot. You might wonder where on earth these conditions exist. Well, it's no coincidence that the majority of the world's cacao supply comes from regions that lie along the equator. This belt of the globe provides the perfect balance of heat and humidity that cacao trees need to thrive. Countries like Ivory Coast, Ghana, and Indonesia are major contributors to the chocolate that we relish worldwide. With the right conditions, cacao trees flourish and produce pods. But how do we get the beans from these pods? Harvesting cacao pods is a delicate process. Imagine the scene. A cacao farm, dappled sunlight filtering through the dense foliage, the air heavy with tropical warmth. The trees, heavy with ripe cacao pods, are ready to be harvested. The cacao pods, with their vibrant hues ranging from electric yellow to deep crimson, hang from the trunks and branches of the trees. They are hard on the outside, but inside they house the precious cacao beans enveloped in a sweet, sticky white pulp. These beans are the core ingredient of the chocolate we all love. To harvest, the cacao pods are not simply plucked off the tree. Instead, they are gently cut off using a special tool, a machete or a pruner, to avoid damaging the tree or the pod. It's a process that requires a keen eye and a steady hand, and it's all done manually. Once the pods are removed from the tree, the next step is to crack them open to reveal the cacao beans inside. This is done with a careful strike of a blade, splitting the pod in half. The sight that greets you is a cluster of cacao beans nestled within the pod, each one surrounded by a layer of sweet, sticky white pulp. The beans, along with the pulp, are then scooped out by hand. This pulp, called mucilage, is not only sweet, but also incredibly important. It plays a crucial role in the fermentation process that follows, a process that will transform these beans into the building blocks of chocolate. But that's not all. The harvested beans are not immediately ready to become chocolate bars. They need to undergo a series of processes, including fermentation and drying, which will help to develop their unique flavor profile. So, the journey from tree to treat is a long one, filled with care, patience, and a deep understanding of the cacao bean's needs. Each step is crucial in creating the chocolate we all know and enjoy. Once the beans are harvested, they undergo fermentation and drying to enhance their flavor. And that, my friends, is the careful and precise art of harvesting cacao. Fermentation and drying are vital steps in the chocolate production process. Once the cacao pods are harvested and the beans are extracted, they are still covered in a sticky white pulp. The next stage in the journey of chocolate creation is fermentation. This is a delicate process where the beans, along with their pulp, are placed in fermentation boxes. These boxes are often covered by banana leaves, emulating a natural environment for anywhere from 3 to 9 days. During this time, the beans undergo a transformation. Fermentation is crucial for several reasons. Firstly, it helps to kill off bacteria that could potentially harm the beans. Secondly, it aids in removing the remaining pulp from the beans. And lastly, it's during this process that the beans develop their signature brown color and their unique, robust flavor. Fermentation is a fascinating process. It's the time when the beans begin to take on the characteristics that we associate with chocolate. The pulp breaks down, releasing heat and causing the temperature inside the fermentation box to rise. This heat, along with the naturally occurring yeasts and bacteria, begins to ferment the beans. The sugars in the pulp are converted into acids, which permeate the beans and start to develop the precursors of that classic chocolate taste. Once fermentation is complete, the beans need to be dried. This is usually done in the sun and can take up to a week. The purpose of this step is to reduce the moisture content of the beans and to further enhance their flavor. During drying, the beans are regularly turned to ensure they dry evenly. This process also allows for any remaining pulp to be removed. The sun-dried beans are now brown, their moisture content significantly reduced, and they possess a rich, chocolatey aroma. This drying process is essential for the beans to be stored without risk of mold growth, and to be transported without the risk of fermentation restarting. Now the beans are ready to be sent off to processing plants. At the processing plant, the beans undergo further transformation. Hand-picked with care from the lush regions along the equator, these beans are now in the hands of quality assurance officers. Their keen eyes scrutinize every bean, ensuring only the finest make it to the next step. Once given the green light, the beans embark on a journey through large, revolving cylinders. It's a roasting party in there. The cylinders rotate, the heat rises, and the magic begins. This roasting process is more than just a heating event. It's a symphony of transformation where moisture is reduced and the bean's full potential is realized. The heat coaxes out the rich, complex flavors hidden within each bean, turning them from simple seeds into the essence of what we recognize as chocolate. This process of roasting is a delicate art, balancing temperature and time in a dance that determines the ultimate flavor profile of the chocolate. After roasting, the beans are ground into a paste, producing what is known as chocolate liquor. Scene script. Chocolate liquor is the base of all chocolate products. Imagine having a block of pure, unadulterated chocolate. That's what chocolate liquor is like. But don't be fooled by its name. It's non-alcoholic. It's simply the ground or melted state of the cocoa nib, which is the meat of the cocoa bean. Now let's dive into the fascinating process of chocolate liquor production. The journey starts when the roasted cocoa beans are cracked open to extract the nibs. These nibs are then ground down, creating friction and heat. With the cocoa butter's melting point being just below the human body temperature, the heat generated from this grinding process is enough to melt the cocoa butter present in the nibs. The result? A smooth, liquid form of chocolate, or what we call chocolate liquor. But the magic doesn't end there. This chocolate liquor serves as the base for two essential chocolate ingredients: cocoa solids and cocoa butter. To separate them, the chocolate liquor is pressed under high pressure. The cocoa butter is squeezed out, leaving behind a solid mass known as the cocoa press cake. This cocoa press cake is rich in cocoa solids. It's then broken down into smaller pieces, and to refine it further, it's ground up once more. The end product is a fine, powdery substance which we all know and love as cocoa powder. In some cases, before it becomes cocoa powder, the chocolate liquor may be treated with an alkaline solution. This process, known as Dutching, darkens the color of the cocoa powder and makes it less acidic, giving it a milder flavor. So, from cocoa nibs to chocolate liquor, and then on to cocoa solids and cocoa butter, this intricate process reveals the artistry behind our favorite chocolate products. But as we well know, cocoa powder alone doesn't make a chocolate bar. There's still a long way to go in this delicious journey. Once the cocoa powder is ready, it's time for the conching process. Conching is a vital process in the creation of chocolate. This stage is where the real magic happens, transforming the bitter cocoa into the sweet treat we all love. It all starts when cocoa butter is mixed with the chocolate liquor, a paste made from ground cacao beans. This mixture is heated and ground sometimes for several days in a process known as conching. The name comes from the shell-like shape of the traditional conching machine. It's during this phase that the chocolate develops its smooth, velvety texture and richness. The conching process also allows for the addition of extra ingredients. Depending on the recipe, powdered milk, sugar or vanilla may be tossed into the mix. These additions bring out the flavors and aromas that make each chocolate unique. Conching is the silent hero of chocolate making, the step that brings together all the flavors and textures in perfect harmony. After conching, the chocolate undergoes tempering to ensure uniform composition. Tempering is what gives chocolate its patented snap. It's a delicate dance of heating and cooling that transforms our favorite sweet treat into its final, delightful form. But what exactly happens during this process? Well, tempering chocolate involves a careful sequence of heating and cooling that realigns its crystal structure, ensuring a uniform composition. Initially, the chocolate is gently heated until it reaches a certain temperature, melting all 6 forms of the cocoa butter crystals. Then it's cooled down, encouraging the formation of stable crystals. These crystals give the chocolate its smooth texture, glossy appearance, and that distinctive snap we all love when breaking a piece off a bar. The process doesn't end there though. The chocolate is carefully heated once more to a lower temperature, eliminating any remaining unstable crystals. This meticulous process is essential in giving chocolate its unique characteristics. Now the tempered chocolate is ready to be poured into molds. We're finally at the last step of the chocolate production process. After the tempered chocolate has been meticulously crafted to have the perfect consistency, flavor and texture, it's now ready to take shape. The chocolate is poured into molds, each carefully designed to form the shape of the chocolate bars we all know and love. Whether it's a classic rectangle, an intricate pattern, or a brand's unique design, each mold plays a crucial role in the final appearance of the chocolate bar. As the chocolate fills each mold, it starts to solidify, gradually transforming from a glossy liquid into a solid mouth-watering piece of chocolate. But the process isn't over just yet. Each mold is given a little shake to ensure that the chocolate spreads evenly and fills every corner. This step is crucial to prevent any air bubbles from forming within the chocolate that could impact the texture or even cause the bar to break. Once the chocolate has completely solidified, it's removed from the mold, revealing a perfect chocolate bar, ready to be packaged. But before the bar can be sent off to the stores, it has to pass a final check. Quality assurance teams inspect each bar, ensuring there are no air bubbles, that the shape is perfect, and that the chocolate meets all the quality standards. Now comes the final step: wrapping the chocolate bar. The bars are often wrapped in foil or paper packaging, each chosen for its ability to protect the chocolate from damage and preserve its quality. The wrapping also provides a canvas for the brand's design and information, making it easily recognizable to chocolate lovers everywhere. The process of making a chocolate bar is a meticulous one, requiring attention to detail at every step. From the careful selection of cacao beans to the precise tempering process, and finally to the molding and wrapping of the bar, each step plays a crucial role in creating the delicious treat that chocolate lovers around the world enjoy. And there you have it, a journey from the cacao tree to the chocolate bar in your hand. Did you know the chocolate industry generates up to $50 billion annually? This booming industry, which brings us the sweet indulgence we love, is a colossal global powerhouse. Consider the journey we've traveled, from the cacao trees in the humid equator regions to the intricately tempered bars of chocolate. Every step is a testament to the labor, love, and ingenuity poured into each bite. Now let's shift our focus to another key player in the chocolate industry: aluminum foil. Think about the last time you unwrapped a chocolate bar. That shiny, crinkly wrapper isn't just for aesthetics. Aluminum foil is a superhero in the chocolate world, preserving the quality and flavor of the chocolate by protecting it from light, air, and moisture. It's a crucial part of the journey from factory to your taste buds. Interested in how aluminum foil is made? Check out our next video to continue the journey.